it's Henry again. In this video, I'm going to show you some really basic things in Dreamweaver, how to actually create a layout in Dreamweaver. Very basic stuff. Follow along. If you have CS4, CS5, CS6, it'll work. I don't know about CS3, that might be too old. I'm working in CS6 today. If you have CS5 or 4, it's fine. Everything will be the same. So this is what we're going to create right here. I know, really simple. The colors don't match. I just put the colors there because I want you to see all the different parts of the website, of the layout. Okay, so we're going to create this step by step. Let's close this first. So I'm in Dreamweaver. I'm going to create new HTML. I think I skipped the step. There might be like some create from layout, whatever. It's blank. Okay. Go to code. We're gonna hand code all this stuff. First, change the title. I like to do that. Example page. We're gonna go to the body tag. Inside the body tag, we're gonna start right off the bat. I'm gonna put a div ID wrapper. For you beginners out there, what is a wrapper? I'm putting some comments in there. It's always good practice. What a wrapper is this div is gonna wrap around all the divs, all the content. This is gonna be a div that is wrapping around all the other divs. Okay, make sure you get the indentation right, because this ends up being important once the website gets really complicated. So we're going to indent one, and we're going to add another div. Let's think about what we're trying to create here. Okay, actually let's open what I just closed because I want to see what we're trying to do. Okay, so we need this big part right here, this gray area. You could put like a logo here. You could put this is called the header. Most websites have this. Let's go back. So this is going to be another div ID header. It's always good to make everything logical. Make the names of the divs logical, the IDs. Okay. Let's go to split view and work this out. Notice this dotted line right here. Design view. This dotted line. It's got no width. It's just there. Okay. If you type into it, you can type into it. I just want to, because this is kind of a beginner's video, I want to show you in a web browser and show you what this is. Okay. Let's go to, actually, no, before we do that, let's do some CSS actually, before we even preview this thing, because if we preview now, it's going to be white, nothing, it's going to be a blank page. That's because we haven't styled these divs yet. CSS is what makes these divs have colors, widths, dimensions, all sorts of stuff. So, what we're going to do in Dreamweaver, the easiest way to edit divs or to style divs is to put the cursor inside the div you want to edit, okay, that you want to style. Right now it's inside the wrapper div, so I'm going to be putting styles for the wrapper div. Let's go to the CSS styles panel. If you're in a different format than this, go to Window, go to CSS styles. Might have to refresh. Hit refresh. Okay. We're in the CSS styles panel. All the way down here there's this little icon that says new CSS rule. Click on that. If your cursor was inside the div you want to edit, the div ID is already inside here, the selector. It's called the selector. Okay, it's got this little it's got that don't know what it is, that symbol, and then the div ID right there. Down here you can choose if you want this CSS style to be in this document only, or you can create a new style sheet file. For example, layout.css. Now, I don't really want to do that right now, maybe in another video. I want to do this just for this document only, so these CSS rules are going to be only for this document. Press OK. This CSS rule definition menu is going to show up, and right off the bat I want to set, if you go to box right here, this is where you set the dimensions and the margin and the padding and all that stuff. And for the wrapper, remember, wrapper is going to wrap around the entire website, all the other divs. I'm going to set this to auto. Why? Because if I set this to auto, the div is basically going to expand horizontally all the way to the end of to the left end of the browser window and the right end. So I'll explain this a little later, but width is auto. OK. And I also want to make a CSS rule for the header div. I'm going to click inside the header div. I'll go back to the CSS styles panel, click that plus button there, click OK again, and go back to the box menu part. And this time I want some dimensions for the header. I want the width to be this. You can make this 1,900. Most computers, personal computers nowadays, they come with pretty nice, display video cards and stuff that can view, pretty much 1,000. But I'm gonna put it 800 just to be safe. Height, I'm gonna set 150. This is the header, remember. And I'm gonna show you a trick here. Unclick same for all. I want to center this website. I want to center the content, and I'm going to do that by going to right. I'm going to click auto. If I set the margin of the right and the left to auto, this is going to center this div, the header div. Okay, click OK. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to. This is a good example, actually. So every style, that CSS style that you created, it's going to be down up here. CSS styles panel up here. There's header right there. Double click it. You can return to that. Go back to actually go to background, and I'm gonna set the background color. I don't know, whatever, some gray color. Click OK. All right, you can learn about background images and all that. It's pretty self-explanatory. Mess around with that menu. Alright. Let's go to split view and see what that looks like. There it is. Okay. This outside thing right here, that's the wrapper div. And here is the header div. The gray header div. Let's preview in Chrome. Save changes to yes, I want to save the changes. I want to name it example 2 because I already made one called example. And there it is. Okay? The dotted lines disappeared. There, it's all centered. Perfect. Exit that. Whoops. Showing you my personal stuff here. Okay. Now we want some navigation, right? We want some navigation menu here, and I want that to be right under this header. So when you put divs right underneath the previous div inside the source code, it'll just put it up right underneath the div. Okay, so this is going to go right under the header div, and I'm going to name this nav. Close that tab. Okay. Click inside there. Go to the design view. Nothing's changed. Why? Of course, because there's no styling. Click inside that nav div, do the same thing. Go to CSS styles, click on that new CSS rule, make sure the selector is nav, wrapper, nav, OK. Go to box, I want this width to be same as the header. Why? It's just logical, it just looks, whatever. You could make it 1,000, it's up to you. 800. 50 pixels. And I want to center this again. Let's see what happens if we don't put the auto here and the auto here. Let's see what happens. Okay. Look at that. Okay. Design view. It's gonna stick all the way to the left. That's just the default way of divs. I don't know why. Okay. We want to center this, right? We want to center that. Go back. Go to box. Same thing as the header. Auto. Auto. Okay. And there it is, centered. But we want a color. I'm always exiting. Okay, go back background. Change the color. Make it black. Apply. Okay. Cool. Go back to code. Actually, split view. Split view is cool. I can actually see what I'm doing here. Alright, and right underneath the nav, I'm gonna want some another div that's gonna create this sort of double layout. There's a left part here that's bigger, probably main content here, and then the right part here, which is gonna probably be like links, fast links, images, whatever, right? This is really basic, so I'm just gonna create a left column and a right column, right? You can insert a table, right? But we're in 2013 now, so I'm gonna just use this. I don't know if that's a bad comment or whatever. And how I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna create another wrapping div, another wrapper div, but I'm gonna call this one content underscore wrapper. So whoever is looking at this code can understand that this div right here is going to wrap around the content. It's the wrapper div that's going to be wrapping around the content divs. Why did I do that? Because we need a div to wrap around other elements to sort of like, you know, wrap around it. So everything's kind of organized and centered, actually. Right? Because there's going to be more divs inside here. We're going to put a left part and a right part, and we want that to be contained. So I'm going to insert another div inside the content wrapper div now. And I'm going to call this one the left content. The left content. You'll see why I'm making everything with divs. It's just you can target these divs separately, and that allows you to really have some customization, really control what's going on in each of these divs separately. Okay, so right content. So I put two content divs. Two divs inside the content wrapper div. Okay, right content and right content. And then let's so we haven't wrote any CSS rules for this part, right? For the content wrapper, for the left content, for the right content, we just wrote the code. So if we go to design view, again, nothing's going to show because there's no width, there's no height. If we set a height, this is going to expand. Remember, actually, I should have said this earlier. The wrapper div, if we go to the CSS styles here, actually the CSS styles are going to be written now. The hand code right here, we can actually start hand coding. But I didn't define a height. And if I don't define a height for the wrapper for the entire thing, if I keep on adding stuff in here, it just expands automatically. Okay, and that's nice because that's just really nice, expanding stuff. CSS styles. So we're going to start to define some rules for these divs right here. So we're going to go to CSS styles again. Make sure the cursor is inside the content wrapper div. Click that. Make sure the selector is correct. Press OK. What do you think we're going to do here? we want to center everything. We want to center this content. This content wrapper has to be centered. So we're going to use that trick. Auto, right, left, set it to auto. Width I'm going to set 800. If we don't set a width, it doesn't know what to do. What do you mean right and left auto? I have no idea. It's just going to be infinitely wide. I'm gonna just put 800 width. That's just gonna make everything lined up there. And I'm not gonna set the height. You know why? Because again, this is a wrapper div. I want it to expand automatically with the content inside. Okay. I could set a background though. Set a background. Nice light gray. Okay. Notice nothing happened because I didn't set a height. Okay. I'm gonna set heights on these content divs though. Left content. Make sure the cursor is inside there. Do it again. CSS styles. Click on that button. Alright, everything's good. Okay. Go to box. And I want this width to be like 600 pixels. Remember, the whole thing, the container of this is 800 pixels. Width is going to be 600 pixels. I'm going to set the height to like 700 pixels. Okay. And I'm not going to set any margins. Okay? I'm not going to set any margins. But what I'm going to do is there's this thing called float. Okay? What float does is there's left, right, or none. Okay? I'm not going to explain none, but if you click left, this is going to make whatever you float left, this div, it's going to like stick to the left. It's going to stick to the left, and I'll show you what I mean. Click OK. Actually, I'm sorry. I keep doing the same thing. Set a background color. Some blue. There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing kind of for right content. Now I want right content. CSS rules. Make sure that says right content. Okay. Box. And how much room do I have left there? The container is 800. I just set the left content to 600, so there's 200 pixels left. The height 700, same as the left content. Now this is important. Float. If we leave it blank here, I'm going to show you what happens. Okay. I'm going to click OK first. Actually, background first. Don't forget the background color, so you can see green, bright green. I'm going to click OK. See what happens. OK. Huh? What happened? It's not there. There's no green. There's the blue one, the left content. But I don't see the green one, the right content. That is because this left content div has been floated left. And what that does is any div in the code that comes after it, any div that comes after it, just loses its place. And that's layman's terms, but that's my layman's terms. I don't know if you understand that, but I'm just going to show you how to fix this. We're in right content. Okay, right content CSS rule. We're going to also float this left. Click OK. And look at that. Why? Why did it do that? Because this float left code, that tells the divs to line up horizontally from the left. From the left. If I put right content, left content. If I put right here, this is the left content. As you can see, it's gonna line up horizontally from the right. Okay. Go back. Make it left. Okay. That's cool. Let's go to live view and see what that looks like. Yeah. That looks pretty similar to that. Actually, it's the same. Okay, so we're almost done now. Now what I'm going to do is I want to make this footer. A lot of websites have this footer stuff. You put links here, copyright stuff, copyright text, things like that. So I want that footer, and I'm gonna put it outside of the content wrapper. I know this is probably bad practice or unconventional. I don't know. Some people might frown upon this, but I'll show you why I do it like this. And the footer div is below the content wrapper div, but still inside the wrapper div. Okay? Everything needs to be inside the wrapper div. Actually, it doesn't have to be, but it's better that this way. Okay, and I'm gonna click inside the footer div, and I'm gonna set the rule for that. Click refresh. Same thing, box, width 800, height 150, same as the header, whatever. Same thing. And I also want to center this. If I don't do this, it's not gonna be centered. What did I do? Oh, I didn't put... oh, okay. So remember what I said. Everything that comes after a float div. So these two are floating. It's floating. Sort of means that it's sort of going to be out of the wrapper div. As you can see there, see? That's the wrapper div, but these two divs, the content divs, left and right, are floating left, which means that it's not going to be it ignores the rest of the divs, the heights and the widths and all that. I don't know if I explained that, but I'm gonna how to fix this. Go to the footer div, double click on the CSS rule. Actually, I'm going to show you how to hand code, because this is really important. Enter. And I want to clear both. And what this does is it clears any sort of floating elements. We need this to be there, this code, because we want that footer to come right underneath the floating divs. Okay. And let's set a color. There you go. What if we want to, I'm just going to go on here. What if we want to add text? Let's say I want to put a logo here, actually. I want to put a logo inside this header div. And I want to position it the way I really want to. I don't want it to be all the way up top. I don't want it to be down here. I want it to be maybe sort of in the middle here, to the left. So we're going to go back to the header div right here. We're going to enter, make some room, indent. Remember, anything inside a div needs to be indented. So make another div ID, and I'm going to call this logo. All logical here. Forget the comment, it's taking annoying. Right? Okay. And then we're going to also CSS style this, and everything is CSS style if you haven't noticed. And we're going to click the header because this is inside the header div, and if I create a new CSS rule, the CSS rule is going to appear right under this CSS rule, which is convenient. We want to be organized. Click OK. There you go. I'm going to set dimensions. I don't know what kind of logo I want. Actually, open. I'm gonna actually I'm a UC Davis student, so I'm gonna open up a logo. I'm doing this off top. I'm really slow, and I'm sorry about that, but just logos. All right, let's get this UC Davis logo, and I want to see the width and the height dimensions. It's 267 by 69. Go back to Dreamweaver. And I'm gonna ask 267 by 69. I hope I got that right. Okay. Set the dimensions first. And I'm gonna set the margin because I want the margins, I want it to be like not sticking to the left and top to the top. I want it to be sort of in the middle. 267. I'm sorry. Height 69. We know that the height of this header is 150. 150 minus 69. I don't know. Let's do about 20 pixels. If you hit apply and you can see the design view or the split view here, you can see what happened, which is kind of nice. Because then you can adjust here. It looks like it needs to be more like freaking 50 or 40. Okay, that's just about right. Okay, not perfect, but whatever. And I want it to be from the left, like 15. Okay. And how to insert that logo? Well, I could put a background image in there. Put a background image. Browse, and then I could find that file, set it there. But I don't want to because I want to be able to click the logo and then go back to the home page or whatever. So I'm going to go into logo. I'm going to go to insert image, or shortcut common tab up here and click that. Same thing. I gotta find that logo, and I know what it is. Right there. Okay. There it is. I just inserted an image, and I want to make this a link. I'm gonna highlight the image in the source code, or go ahead and click on that on the design view. And then down here in properties, I'm gonna insert a link, the URL, HTTP. cdavis.edu. And that's that. That's cool. And it looks really bad, so I'm gonna actually make this header white to match the logo. I'm gonna find, instead of going to CSS styles and double clicking here, header, I can do that, but I'm gonna go a shortcut. I'm just gonna find the CSS style up here in the header tag of the HTML file, and background color, set it to 999, right? That's that dark gray. I'm gonna set it to FFF, which is white. There we go. There you go. Okay. How about I insert some navigation buttons? Okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is one of many ways to create a navigation menu, and I'm going to show you a really easy way actually. I'm going to go home, about, contact, links, resources, whatever. These are all going to be links. Double click on the words. Right now, actually, I'm going to make them dead links because I don't have the files. This number symbol makes these links dead links, so they don't lead anywhere, they just show up as links. Okay. Alright. As you can see, we have a sort of a navigation menu. Click live view. Oh! There you go. That's weird, the div popped out. I mean, whatever, but if we preview in Chrome, see what happens. Okay. The reason why it's expanded and it doesn't look like this is because the logo div has been set a margin from the top. Okay. Let's make this 40, and actually, I'm sorry, I'm not exactly being clear, because I'm not clear right now what's going on, but I'm gonna clear this left. See if that does it. No. Right? Oh, well. Actually float. I'm gonna float this left, actually. I think what happened was these divs, because if I don't float it, whatever. It's all about troubleshooting. Okay. So back to the navigation menu, how to make those. Okay. I'm gonna make a CSS rule specifically for links inside the navigation div. So I'm gonna I'm gonna put the cursor inside a link here, home, for example. And I'm gonna click CSS. And there we go. The selector is nav A because that's links inside of nav. We don't want to do this, or even this, because this is going to target all links inside the wrapper. I want this to be just links inside, only the nav. Okay, click OK. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to set the font first. I'm going to make it CSS. Set a font size 14 pixels. I want to make it bold. Color white, so you can see it. And then the text decoration, I don't want it to be have an underline, so I'm going to put none. That makes that underline go away. Okay. I'm going to go to block, and this menu right here, this block menu, has a lot of nice styles. I'm going to go to display and go to block. This displays each link as a block. And you'll see what I mean. If I set it as block, I can then set a dimensions for the block, for the box. Okay, the link turns into a box if I do that. Set the width to 100, height to 50 to match the nav div, and I'm gonna set a background color. Let's make it like, actually I know what I want to make it. I want to make it 002856 because that's the hex code for the blue. Apply. Okay. I hit OK. And look what happened. It turned into so these are this link turned into a box. See? Now I need to put more CSS styles to fix this. It's going vertical. It's lining up vertical because I need to remember what I said before. If we want to line something up horizontally from the left, you guessed it, float left. Apply, and it's floating left, as you can see. But the text inside the box is like to the left and to the top. I want to fix that. I'm going to go to block. Inside block there's a menu option here called text align. Go center. Apply. See it move there. Also gonna I need to set like a margin from for the text inside this box, and we do that by going to line height, this option here. And the line height is the space between the lines. If we set this to 50, which is the width or the height of the navigation bar and the boxes, the buttons now, that's going to basically center that from the top. Okay, there it is. Actually, it's a little too much to forward. Okay, looks good. There it is. But we want to have some styling when we hover over it. So, just run cheap way. The code for hover is hover. See? Close that. You see what I did? I copied the selector name, the div CSS rule ID. I copied that and added hover, colon hover. This is the CSS rule, the code, CSS code for targeting the link when you hover over it. I'm gonna set the background color. I'll make it okay, and I'm gonna make the color. Let's see what this does. So when I hover over it, it's gonna follow this rule. The background color is gonna change to gold, and the text color is going to change to blue, so, which is cool. And I'm going to keep going, actually. Keep going. Let's go ahead and change the color of the content. Left content wrap. Make it a very light gray. Very light gray. F2, F2, F2 should be good. Apply. Okay. Alright. And I'm just gonna stop there, actually. If you have any questions, email me. Thanks for watching. Actually, I'm sorry. Save the file. Preview in Chrome. Let's see.